I want to show you how you can kind of create a fill-in-the-blank template to use that you create that's specific to your school, but that will make life, I think, a little bit easier on your students, and it'll still give you a lot of control in how you actually create your book. So I'm going to share my screen. And I'm currently using Sanderson High School's book just because I've already done this with them. And you can see that we have lots of crazy colors here, right? And obviously we don't really want all of these crazy colors. I think this is actually what it looks like when the kids get it. We don't actually want all of these crazy colors in their book, but we did want to kind of give a basic overview of a design for the students. So when the students log in, they're going to see that with all the color blocks. But this is the base of the page. So every spread in the chronological coverage will look like this. If you guys have questions, you can either speak up or you can type it in the chat. Kristen's going to monitor that. All right, so every page will kind of look like this. Now you can decide amongst your staff if you want to have set colors for this, like if these are always going to be, you know, a school color, or if you're going to just let the kids decide on the color based on what they want. It does not matter. You can make that choice. And then this is your calendar. So September 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, you have one picture per day that kind of represents that day. You with me so far? Okay. So now I've put in basically placeholders. I have 4 different sizes of modules here. Now a module is just a piece of a bigger pie, right? So this is just small pieces that make up the big spread. So this spread is about this week. And I'm going to consider what I'm covering in this week's spread. Maybe it's a slow week and there's not a lot of big events going on. I've only got 1 or 2 bigger kind of things to cover. Maybe I'm going to cover some academics, and then maybe I'm going to cover the first day of school, and then everything else is going to kind of be filler. So you can decide how you want this organized. Don't change the size of your boxes, but you can move them around. You can put them in different places. You can decide that you don't want a purple one, and instead you're going to have an extra orange 1 or 2 to see how many mods you want on your spread. All right, are you with me so far? Kristen, everything look good on the chat? Okay. Now, we designed, this advisor and I, we designed some click and goes, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. But we designed specific layouts or modules for each color block. So here we have green 1, green 2, green 3, and we designed those. They are not Jostens layouts. They're specifically designed for this school, but they fit in these spaces. So you can choose the one that best fits what you need for that week. And the next week, you might choose something different to go in the exact same space, but it has the same feel. So it feels like it comes from the same book. So I'm going to start by choosing green 1, and I'm going to just drag and drop this on the page. You can see it kind of fits in that space. In order to manipulate it, I'm going to want to ungroup it, and then I can work with it. And then we're going to want to get rid of that ugly green box, because that was just our space saver. So now I need an orange or a green or a purple or whatever color you're choosing. So let's do an orange. So here is an orange one that is quotes, and here is an orange one that's just more kind of maybe candids with a little story. So I think I'm going to choose the quotes. I'm going to click and drag and drop into that space, delete the ugly orange box. Now I need a purple, and I think I'm going to choose purple number, let's choose purple number 3. So I'm going to drag and drop, delete the purple. I have my mod designed. And now we need some yellows. So let's just drop a couple of yellows in here. We'll do a student profile. We'll do a poll. Actually, let me put the poll up here. And we'll do a he said, she said. All right. Now you change your colors however you want to. And your book, your page is designed. What do you think? Now, they have just been playing. These are not their final colors or designs or whatever. They were just learning this. But let me show you some different pages that this school has done. If you recognize this right here as a mod, this is the big purple mod. They have the two mods here that are the yellow. Here's another yellow, and here's orange. We go to their next spread. This is that same mod that you saw on the right-hand side of the page earlier, but now it's on the left-hand side. Do you recognize these things and see where they're coming from? So they're just filling in as they go. All right. Talk to me. Tell me what you think. Yes, Kim Potter, I can do that. Absolutely.
You've made it look a lot more simple than it really is, because I've been playing around with just creating like little mods that would be the same size like that. And I don't know how long it took you and that advisor, but it's like, ah!
Okay, that is a really good point. So Ms. Putnam brings a good point. Let's talk about how you actually create these mods. The reason this is fast is because we did all the work on the front end. So by you and your editor sitting down and doing this on the front end, then your staff members can just pop things in. But you do have to take the time to create these. Jennifer Thomas, I don't know if I have it saved in there yet, but I will get it saved and transfer it to whoever wants it. I just left this ugly purple box in the background, and then I just started designing. I'm like, okay, well, let's pop in a headline. And I design each mod as if it was a full page spread, like in your traditional way of designing. You know, you're going to have a headline, you're going to have a dominant element, you're going to have some captions. So pretend like this is a weird sized full page spread. And how would you choose to design that?
You want to share your screen?
Oh, I'm just going at it over here, aren't I? Sorry. Okay, so I've put in a headline and I've put in a picture and I'm going to put in some text, some copy. So just pretend like this little purple box is just your full page normal design, and you're going to design it the way you always would here. Okay. So let me just steal from this stuff to make it fast. That's the other thing I always steal. Like once I do one thing that's good, I just reuse it.
You'll have to show them about the new flipping stuff that they have.
Yes,
this year.
Kristen, that's a great idea.
I love that.
So, you know, I've got my little design, I've got my copy. All right. And then let's put some copy down here at the bottom. I know this is not the greatest, but I wanted to do something fast, okay? All right, so once I have my little mod designed, I'm gonna delete the purple. And then I'm gonna select everything that's in this mod, make sure everything's selected. And then I'm gonna go to File, Save as Click and Go. And I'm gonna save it as purple 4 or whatever number you're at and hit Save. So now when I come over here to my designs and my Click and Go, I now have a purple 4 that's already designed. I delete all of this, just like I can drag and drop anything else, I can drag and drop my purple 4. Does that help?
So because you had like grouped it or selected only that, it knew to save it as that exact size inside Click and Go?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a new feature, isn't it? Have we always been able to make our own Click and Goes?
We have, but it wasn't quite this easy.
Okay, I was gonna say, well, I mean, because I've never used I've looked through the Jostens Click and Goes a million times, but I've never really used them. But I really like being able to, this is gonna make it so easy for the staff once they're created.
I think so too.
To pull those in.
All right, any other questions about that? I want to show you how you can do this if you don't want to do it to this degree. Like if you don't, I'm a micromanager, so I would want everything to be perfectly matchy-matchy and go together. If you're not that concerned with it, but you like the idea, I want to show you some other ways you can do it. And that's what Ms. Putnam was just mentioning about the Jostens Click and Goes. I'm going to delete this and hopefully Whitney doesn't kill me. I'll put it back. Okay. So if I go to Designs, and I go to Modular Designs. I'm going to start with templates. Okay, all these templates have those same crazy colors on them. So you're going to pick the one that you kind of like and drag and drop it onto your page like this. Okay, now that is not aligned. Let's align that. Okay, so now in the same thing, I'm in designs, I'm in modular, and now I'm going to look for a pink module. Now I have 4 pink modules on this spread. They're all the same size. So I can scroll through here and I can pick the 4 pink modules that I want. Now, because these are designed by Jostens this way, they're going to actually drop in and delete that pink box. I don't know how to do that from our end. So the benefit to this is they're already pre-made and the little box back, in the background disappears. The benefit to the way I showed you the first time is that you have more control over your designs. Now you can adjust these. So I can click on this and then I can come up here and ungroup it. And then I can make changes. I can change the colors, but you cannot, you can actually even still save this as a new click and go, just like we did a while ago, but it's gonna go in your My Click and Goes and it's not gonna fill in like the color box and delete it like this one does. Does that make sense? You'd have to go in and change each one separately. So here's our purple mods. There's pre-designed mods. You pick the one you want, you drag and drop. And then you do blue, pick the one you want, drag and drop. And then we need to do some green. So it's just really up to you how much you want to micromanage this. And the other thing is you can delete, like if you wanted to have that border across the top, don't put the pink ones up there, just delete them. And then you can just put a box across the top for your headline or however you choose to design that. All right, what are you thinking? I don't want to overwhelm you, but I want to show you some like higher level ways to design besides just using what we already have, but to still make your life a little bit easier. So
is anybody else here Monarch? Because I'm Monarch and you're doing all this in Yearbook Avenue. So do I have to go into Yearbook Avenue to create these and then I can use them in my Monarch, or what do we do?
You're the only one on the call that's Monarch, but we should be able to do this in Monarch too. There's also click and goes in Monarch. So we just may need to sit down with you separately and look at the InDesign version.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? Is there anything you would like to see again? How do we make sure the headline is the same? Okay, that's a great question, Jennifer. So I'm going to come back and go to Plan and Styles.
Share your screen.
Thank you, Kristen. I need you for so many reasons, but clearly everybody else needs to be told to unmute. I need to be told to share my screen. All right, so I went to Plan and Styles. And this is going to open up the style section and I can add a new style. You can call it anything you want to. So I don't care what you call it, okay? And then you make your font choice. Let's say we're going to do genuine, and then you make your point size, any attributes you want to add, and hit save. Okay? So then when I go back to my Page Ladder in Layout Pro, Whitney's going to kill me. I'm going to have to go back all through her pages and fix these. All right, let's come in here. When I go to my text box, I now have a Hey Kiddos use this for headlines. And when I click it and I drag it and I drop it on the page, it is in genuine in size 40, just like I told it to be. So every time they do a headline, if they use this, it's going to be the same. Now, once they drop it on the page, they can change it. Okay, so let's say they change it. And you're like, that doesn't look right. What's wrong? Okay, so I click on it and I see this little drop down arrow that says style. I can come back here and say, Hey Kiddos, use this for headline, and it resets it to what I wanted it to be. Other questions, or I can't see the comments whenever I'm sharing my screen. That's why I keep stop sharing.
Yeah, yep.
Same template for each month. Good question about the same template for each month or different templates for other months. You know, that's really up to you. I'm a big fan of continuity. So if it were me designing a book, I would probably have the same template, but change it up minorly. Let me show you what Kristen was talking about earlier. Look, I'm going to remember to share my screen.
Share it, yep.
Okay. So let's come up here while I'm ruining Whitney's book. All right, we'll play with this one. Okay. So let's say we've designed the spread. It's perfect. It's exactly what we want. And we want to use it again, but we don't want to, we don't want to be identical. If you go to arrange and mirror, you can then mirror it horizontally. Now you have the exact same layout, but reversed. Or you can go to arrange, mirror, and mirror it vertically. You have the same headline, but upside down, or the same design, but upside down. So now you can make it one design and have 4 designs really, because you're going to mirror it all the ways. And so by doing that, you can keep the continuity and the look, but without getting boring, because it can be a little bit different for each spread, because you can do all that mirroring and reversing, which is super easy to do with just like the click of a button. Okay, so what I can share with you, I can share with you the overall layout with the colors in the background. For some reason, it will not let me share the click and goes as a click and go. I don't know why. I'm currently having a fight with tech support about that. But let me show you where you can find them if you want these exact designs. If you go to designs, and then you choose at the very bottom, template exchange and Jostens sales. This is where Kim, Kristen, and I put all the designs that we make, okay? So if you scroll down, they're towards the bottom, and I think they're called Click and Go 1, 2, and 3. There's a lot of stuff in here. Click and Go 1, 2, and 3 right here. So what I did is I saved them as if it's a design, right? So like I saved them as a spread. So this one would be a purple and this would be another purple. So you would just need to pull this onto your page, select it all, file, save as Click and Go, name it purple number 1, and then you'll have it in your personal Click and Goes. And if that stresses you out and you want these, but you can't figure that out, you just email me and say, Sarah, put my Click and Goes in, and I will be glad to do that for you.
Hey, Sarah, do you know if this works for the different size books? Can they find it?
This was designed for a size 8 book, which as far as I know, everybody on here except for maybe Mary Beth, are you a size 8 or a size 9?
We're 8. I never could justify that extra inch for the extra money because you don't do that much with it. So we're still an 8.
I
Okay.
totally agree. Okay.
Then she's fine. Then everybody's fine.
I think everybody else is a size 8 as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Is Roseville a size 8? I think they are. Okay. So yes, these will all be available for everybody, but no, they do not transfer over from a size 8 to a size 9, Kristen. So if we have a size 9 book that wants them, I'll just have to go in and remake them.
Or size 7. Yeah, depending on elementary or anything. Okay. Excellent.
All right. What do you think?
Can I
Gotcha, Kim.
ask a question really quick?
Yes, please.
What color mods did you say were the smallest? Did you say they were the green ones?
Yellow.
Yellow are the littlest ones?
Okay.
Okay.
And then orange is the one that's kind of square. Purple's tall, skinny, and green is horizontal.
Oh, okay.
And I can save, actually, let me just do that now and go ahead and put it in. And let me show you also how you can do this in case you just really want to. So I'm on page 10 and 11. So I'm going to go back to my history.
Share, please.
Kristen, I love you. Kristen's overacting my brain. Okay. So I'm on pages 10 and 11. So I'm pulling up my history and I can go back and see older versions. Do you guys know how to do this? All right. Did you also know that even though I'm on page 10 and 11, I can choose history from any page. So I can pull the history from page 37 and pop it on page 10 and 11. So that is a fun little thing to know. So I'm going to pull back this page 10, page 9. Doesn't look right. Something's not right. That's because this goes over here. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as a template right now in that template gallery so that you guys can see how to do that in case you ever have reason to like share your templates with somebody else. Before I share it, I want to get it all lined up and perfect so that when you guys download it, it will be that way. Definitely double check your dates because these are not actual real school dates right here. Okay. Always take off your extra page numbers if they're there. All right. So I'm going to go to File, Save as Template, and I'm going to name this Monthly Mod Layout. All right. And I'm going to save it. So now if you go into Designs and you go into Custom and you go to My Templates, here it is, Monthly Mod Layout. Now that's only for this school. If I want everybody to be able to see it, I hit the I and I hit share. So now that should be in everybody's designs. So if you go to My Templates, go to My Template Exchange, go to Jostin Sales, you should be able to look and somewhere in here, I wish they were alphabetical, but that was another thing I'm having. There it is right there. Monthly Mod Layout. So you can find that and then you can just drag and drop that onto your page. All right, I know this is super quick, but I don't want to take up a ton of your time. So any other questions, anything else I can show you that might be helpful? Ms. Putnam, we will definitely set up a time to work with you, and maybe Vicki at the same time since she's also Monarch over at Wake Forest.
Okay. Yeah, I think the thing too that I was struggling with as I was trying to make my own little modules is that I can make several yellows. Then I'm a worrier because one yellow might look really good paired with a certain purple, but it might look like crap, excuse me, beside another purple. So I think I was overthinking everything, looking for perfection because that's kind of how I roll. And I don't think I can think that way.
So I think maybe I do a lot of things really bad before I ever do it good. And so I think just keep making them and keep putting them on the page and keep playing with them and keep what works, get rid of what doesn't, and don't be afraid to make those mistakes first. I don't know about you, but I have to do everything wrong the first 5 times and then it'll click. So, I mean, I would just maybe encourage you to keep playing and then also have your editors do it. I mean, a lot of times these students are way smarter than I am. So, you know,
well, they're all here. All my kids that are going to be doing the creating are sitting in your room right now. So you're smarter than us. Do it.
No, I mean, a lot of times they can come up with things and they may not know how to execute it, but they might have a great idea that you can then execute for them or with them. So yeah, definitely use their little brains and they'll be able to come up with great ideas. But
would you recommend keeping, you know, I noticed with Whitney's, you kept the calendar look at the top. And even though that's not a direction I would want to go, would you suggest like where the headline is, keeping that consistent from spread to spread? Because I also noticed it looked like the folio was possibly going to be up there, because that's another thing I worry about is certain modules covering or having to leave space for a folio.
I definitely personally would have something that is continuous throughout the entire section, or else I feel like it's gonna look disjointed. So I think that I would, yes, keep your folio in the same place. Yes, maybe a headline or whatever element you choose. Like you said, it might be a calendar, it may not be, it doesn't matter, whatever you choose. But, and then when you design your mods, I mean, if you look at my, like before I ever designed a single mod, I laid out these color blocks. So we decided what was going to be on the page that was not going to move was the 2 blue bars, those 5 pictures with the dates on them, and the date and the page number. And then I said, all right, now given that, what space do I have to work with? And then we just started coming in here, and I think I started with yellow. And I took a shape, dropped it on the page, and I said, all right, let's have something sit inside this bar, because to me that's logical, right? And then we're going to want another one below it, and we want it to fill the space. So let's make them about that big. Okay. Like I did not get super complicated in this. I just started popping things in where they would fit. And then I said, all right, I know I want to have at least one bigger mod. And this is kind of an awkward space that I've kind of created for myself now. So I'm going to fill this space here with one larger mod. And then let's move over here. Everything's very vertical. I feel like I need something horizontal. So then I'm going to come over here and make a more horizontal one. So if I do horizontal and I make it the same height as this one, and in case you guys didn't know, if you click on this little transform tool, I can see the exact height is 24 pica 6, 24.6. So if I come over here, I can type in 24p6. And it's now the exact same height as this one, which gave me the ability to then take this one and put it down here, and it fit because it fit just like this one right here did. And then I had this one weird leftover space, and I was like, oh, well, I guess we're gonna have a new size mod. And there it is. And there's my orange one. So I didn't start designing any mods until I had this laid out. And then I said, all right, these are all the same color. Let's make them yellow, and this one is the only one like it. Let's make it purple, and this one's the only one like it. Let's make it, I think I made it green, made this one orange. And then I started designing my mods. And when I design my mods, I find something I like, and then I replicate it multiple times throughout all the different mods. So if I come back over here, if I'm going too fast, y'all, I'm sorry. I just don't want to keep you all day. So when I pop these on, all right, I'm like, well, how do I want to start? What fonts do I want to use? I love a font family because then I can use different fonts, different ways without having like 10 different fonts going on. So you'll see a lot of repetitive features here for me in that your headlines have 2 different versions of the same font. This is a repetitive thing. Anytime I have a quote, I do this kind of quote, and it's like 3 different colors stacked on top of each other to make it look like it's like, I don't know, layered or whatever. I have a lot of these like little lines around. So you kind of start to see the same things repeat in all the mods. This is the exact same thing as the orange mod. It's just that I popped a couple of extra things on top of it to make it bigger. So I'm not really doing anything magical here. I'm just trying to find an easy way to do it so it looks good. So here's that orange mod that you saw a while ago. These 2 are identical. They're just mirrored, and one has a red headline and one has a black headline. I wanted one that had less text, so I just threw in a bunch of pictures here with the headline. So that's my process when I do it. I'm not saying that's the right process, but that's how I make it work. So maybe that order would work for some of you as well. Other questions? Are your heads exploding? All right. If you would like something specific from me or Kristen after talking about this, shoot us an email and just tell us what you want, and we'll be happy to help you with that. We can set up a time to work on this together virtually. I can pop what we've already done on your pages so that you can use those. We can, there's so many things we can do for you. You just have to let us know what you want so we're not guessing. Do I have any middle schoolers on here? I think I do. Okay, yeah, Courtney. All right, I have something fun to share with you. If you have about 2 or 3 minutes afterwards, you stick around. Any other people want to see the middle school stuff, you hang around with me. But all right, are we good?
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. We're going to record this, so if you want to share it with the rest of your students, you can. All right, bye you guys.
Bye, everyone.